What is going on, good people of YouTube? I'm ImJslay. Thank you so much for joining me, and wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day. Today we're playing some Madden 21, but before we get into it, if you enjoy the content, leave a like rating, and if you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe button, and turn the notification bell on to stay updated with all of my uploads. If you missed our previous video, I'll leave a link in the description of this video for you to go check it out, but in it, I go over the Madden Ultimate team that I am using, and it is a dual Bills and Chargers theme team, so if you're interested in possibly creating that, I go through all the details, every single position, every single ability. Go check it out. So for today's video, it is one of my favorite times of the week. We have episode 5 of rebuilding the Atlanta Falcons. Now, if you missed last episode and if you haven't seen any of the episodes so far, I'm going to leave a little card in the top right hand corner of the screen. Click on that. It's going to take you to the playlist. You'll be able to see the first 4 episodes to get caught up. Makes chronological sense, so go ahead and do that and then jump back over to this video. That way you'll know where we've been, how we have constructed this team. It's a team that has come together. We're all the way up to an 86 overall, 85 on the offense, 88 on the defense. Let's go ahead and take a look, just briefly go through the lineup, what we've got at the different positions, right? So offensive line, you already know, we need to upgrade this. It's been a point of contention the entire rebuild. We haven't had any free agents that have wanted to come here, and we haven't really been able to get anybody with better than star development. Chris Lindstrom, with the new update, actually lost that development. I think I'm going to go into the settings and turn that setting off to where they don't regress their development trait. I mean, this dude's only like 25 years old, and he's lost his ability already. I'm not cool with that, but it is what it is, right? But this O-line, Trey Smith, Edward Scott, Matt Hennessy, Chris Lindstrom, Jackson Carman is what we're rocking with this season. Dominic Darby does have star development, holding down the tight end position. And then coming down to the skill positions, we've got Justin Fields at quarterback, taking that next step. Going to need to continue to take that next step if we want to get back to the playoffs. Chuba Hubbard did step up last season. I like the way that he progressed. I want to see some more from him. Kai Holloway is still waiting in the wings. He does have star development. He's more of a power running back. Chuba's more of the shifty running back, right? That elusive running back that you need. So they've got a good 1-2 punch there, but if Chuba slips, Kai's getting in there, you better believe that. Calvin Ridley, we need him to take that next step. I want to see him get superstar development to be our #1 receiver. He needs to do that. Jalen Waddle, once again, we're being bit by the regression for the Superstar, Star, and Superstar X Factors. Jalen Waddle had X Factor. He's down to Superstar now, which is fine. I mean, it's not a huge deal. It's just he's not going to get the fastest experience in the game, but I want to see him continue to develop. And then Russell Gage lost his Superstar ability as well, but he's still sitting at Star, so not too bad there. Let's go over to the defense. The defensive side of the ball is still looking really good, but we were bit a little bit by that regression in Michael Walker and Foye Oluokun. Lost Superstar. Deion Jones has Superstar X Factor, so I mean, our linebacking core is looking awesome. Our defense as a whole is looking pretty darn solid. On the defensive line, Joseph Osai, Grady Jarrett, Marlon Davidson, and Keelan Dent. This dude right here, 14.5 sacks last year. Looking for him to continue to anchor, he and Grady Jarrett to anchor that defensive line. Also, Joseph Osai really coming into his own. I like where this defense is going. In the secondary, Caleb Farley, this dude right here, I want to see him start to get some more interceptions, but he's playing phenomenal. We've got A.J. Terrell starting over Darren Taylor this season just to kind of see where things shake out, see what happens there. Paris Ford and Keanu Neal are at the safeties. We did bring in Isaiah Simmons. Finally, we had a free agent signing. The first couple of years, we literally had nobody. So finally in this past offseason, we were able to sign Isaiah Simmons. And ironically enough, we signed a guy that we don't even have a position for him, right? I mean, we'll see what we decide to do here going forward. I'm going to get him out on the field. He's going to be at a sub-middle linebacker. He's also at one of the corners positions as well. I mean, just hopefully the game in simulation is going to put him out on the field because I want to see him develop, right? We drafted a couple linebackers, though. This guy, I believe, was our first-round draft pick. I believe we got Raheem Abbott in the 6th or 7th round with that star or better development. So I'm looking forward to see where they are going to progress. We are stacked at the linebacking course, so maybe we look to package somebody here for an O-lineman, for another position to make our team even better. We'll see. We'll see. Special teams, not going to touch on this too much. Tucker McCann, replacing Slam Sloman. Replacing Sam Sloman. Literally try to say replacing Sam Sloman 10 times fast. I'll bet you can't do it perfectly each time. Comment in the comment section down below letting me know if you did that. But he's going to be our kicker. Sterling Hoffrichter still our punter. Here's our specialist. As you can see, we do have Isaiah Simmons at the slot cornerback position. Just going to try it out and see what happens, right? He's also our second sub linebacker. Hopefully the game, I just want to get him playing time, right? I want to see if he's able to develop and if we can find a position for him on our team. Okay, so that is the offense, that's the defense, that's the team we're rocking with. The way this works, we're going to simulate 4 weeks at a time. Each quarter, we're going to reconvene. We're going to check out where we are stat-wise. We're going to check out what the team's looking like, make a few upgrades, and then hopefully, at the end of the season, we're going to be talking about the playoffs. So, I will catch you at the end of week 4. Okay, so the first quarter of the season could not have gone any better. As you can see in the standings, we're 4-0. We beat every single team we played. Let's go over here to the schedule, take a look, show you what I'm talking about. Go to the team schedule. So we kicked it off with the Panthers. Big division win. We're their only loss right now. They're 3-1. The Saints are also 3-1, so they're hot on our heels. We've got to keep this winning streak going. But just look at the points that we're putting up. 35-24 against the Panthers. At the Broncos, 35-14. 31-10 at the Raiders. And then 27-21 at home against the football team. So not only are we scoring a lot of points, but our defense is doing the job as well, man. I'm super happy with how the first quarter of this season has played out so far. Let's come down and let's look at the stats. Let's see what we're looking like here. I expect this is going to be pretty solid across the board. 7th in offense, a little over 1,500 yards. 9th in defense. You got the top 10 offense and defense. Solid stuff there. 3rd in total points scored. You love to see that. 4th in points allowed. If you got an offense and a defense that's performing like that, I mean, you're going to make the playoffs. It's pretty much not even a question, right? Well, I think the Chargers one year had like the #1 offense and defense and didn't make it. That's wild stuff there. But anywho, Justin Fields, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns, 2 picks so far. You love to see that. Chuba Hubbard, he's in a contract year already. I didn't realize that we were going to have to re-sign Chuba Hubbard, but, you know, I might let him walk. I might go ahead and put Kai Holloway in just to get him touches. See, I'm not going to break up the continuity right now just because it wouldn't make sense. We're 4-0. But he's sitting at 3.6 yards a carry. Kai Holloway is just getting in the end zone. He's finding the end zone way more than Chuba Hubbard is. That's obviously because we have him as our power running back, so when we do get down to the goal line, I'm sure the computer is subbing him in, but still, you'd like to see that average for Chuba go up a little bit more. Jalen Waddle, 12 catches, 327, an average of 27.3 yards a catch. That is nutty. Nutty stuff there. 3 touchdowns. Calvin Ridley, 18 for 297 and 4 touchdowns. Dominic Darby, solid start to the season so far with 264. Russell Gage is in a contract year. Depending on what he's going to look to want, we might end up having to let him walk. We'll see when we get there. But not a good start from him for your third wide receiver. You like to see him pick it up a little bit more. Justin Fields picked it up as the season went on last year. If he does that this year, Russell Gage, our receivers, they're probably going to be pretty good. Deion Jones leading the team in tackles. No surprise there. Caleb Farley with 21. A.J. Terrell and Isaiah Simmons getting on the field. You like to see that. Maybe we're finding something here with what we're doing with him. Didn't mean to click on that. Meant to sort the sacks. Let's see who we got. Keelan Dent with 5. Averaging over a sack a game. And the guy opposite him, Joseph Osai, with 4.5, is averaging over a sack a game as well. You love to see that. You like to see getting that pressure on the quarterback. Grady Jarrett with 2.5 sacks. Corey Baker, this dude right here, I wish I could get him on the field. He's gotten a lot of upgrades in the last episode. He's already gotten 1 upgrade in this episode. Overall, his attributes look really good. Maybe we look to package him for something, but this dude's got 2 sacks already as our backup in. You like to see that. And Marlon Davidson with 1.5 sacks. Caleb Farley with a 0.5 sack. Interceptions. Are we forcing turnovers? Not really. 1 a game in the interception department. Deion Jones, A.J. Terrell, Isaiah Simmons, and Paris Ford. So you like to see that. Okay, cool. Do we have any upgrades? I believe we do. I believe we've got some players to upgrade. Jalen Waddle's already gotten, this is his 2nd upgrade, so you definitely like to see that. Chris Lindstrom's gotten an upgrade. Jackson Carman's gotten an upgrade. Dominic Darby has gotten an upgrade, just to name a few. Justin Fields has an upgrade as well. Let's go ahead and upgrade. I don't know what that means. Let's go ahead and upgrade his deep threat archetype. You like to see that. 2 in the deep route running. Good stuff there. Edward Scott, our left guard, getting an upgrade, so that's always good to see. We'll just upgrade his pass pass protector trait. And then we have David Woodard, who is a backup defensive tackle. We'll go ahead and upgrade him at 73 overall. That's not too bad. Landon Little and Raheem Barber, our 2 middle linebackers that we took, have already gotten upgrades as well. So I'm excited to see what their development trait is going to be. And that's going to help kind of determine what we do with our linebacking core going forward. As you can see here, these are some players that we'll be looking to re-sign. Not right now, but down the road in this episode. Grady Jarrett, it's pretty solid, to be honest with you, because the dude's 31. He only wants a 1-year deal, $6.5 million. We're going to definitely give him that. You know what? We're going to go ahead and give him that just so we can get him signed again for 1 more year. You definitely like to see that. That's a good offer. I'm glad we got the deal done. I am too, Grady. I am too. I want to get you some more sacks, but definitely glad that we got that deal done. Here's Chuba Hubbard. I mean, as a running back, he's 25. He has superstar development. He wants a 4-year deal worth up to $20 million. We got the cap room for it. We'll see. We're not going to make any decisions on that. Jalen Waddle obviously is up, and then Russell Gage is up as well. So we've got some decisions to make there. Joseph Osai is up. We'll have to prioritize. We do have a running back in Kai Holloway. Maybe we don't look to bring him back, but we'll see. We'll see as this episode goes along. Okay, so we've got an away matchup against the Cowboys and the Buccaneers and the Giants. 3 in a row. Come on, man. That's got to mean the back end of our schedule. We're going to have some home matchups to close it out, so you definitely like to see that. But if we can get through this 3 away game stretch, got a home game against the Eagles, that's where I'll see you guys after that home game in Week 8 against the Eagles. Okay, so through the second quarter of the season, thankfully, that 3-game road stretch didn't hurt us. We went 3-1 in that quarter, up to 7-1. We actually only lost to the Buccaneers. Not a loss you want to see happen, especially in the division. But we're going to have some tough games coming up here because we're away against the Panthers. It's a division game. Yes, they're only 4-4, but they were in the NFC Championship last year. Away against the Packers. I mean, this away schedule, we've got to have at least 5 home games in a row. It is wild how many away games we've had so far. But being 7-1, man, you like to see that. Home against the Saints, and then home against the Chiefs. So we've got some tough games coming up. The fact that we're 7-1 right now is pretty good. Let's take a look at the schedule so you can go through and see what we did this last quarter. Started off against the Cowboys. We won 33-27. We kind of fell on our faces at the Buccaneers. We lost 31-17, but we bounced back at the Giants and home against the Eagles, winning 27-20 and 21-16 respectively. So looks like we handled the NFC least division. I mean, why wouldn't we? It's the NFC East. They're the worst division in football, and they have been for a long time, and nobody's ever going to acknowledge that. But anyway, let's take a look at the stats. That's for a whole nother video altogether, right? So coming to the stats, I have a feeling this is going to be pretty good. Yep. First in offense, total offense, you like to see that. 13th in defense, so we did slip down some defensively. I want to say points scored, yeah, we're at 4th in points. I feel like that could have been better considering only scoring 17 against the Bucs. Even though we're 13th in defensive yardage allowed, we're only 6th, or we are 6th in points allowed. So you definitely like to see that. Maybe we're middle of the pack, which is solid there, but if you're not giving up points, probably not going to be losing a lot of games, right? Justin Fields, 15 touchdowns, shown for 2,200 yards so far at the halfway mark. You like to see that. Rushing stats, Chuba Hubbard, 3.4 yards a carry. I'm doing it. I know I've said it. I've toyed with it so far. I'm doing it. I'm going to put him at the second running back spot. I'm going to put Kai Holloway in there just to see what's going on. Yes, we are 7-1. Yes, maybe that's a little risky, but I'm just not happy and thrilled with how he is performing. So Kai's going to go ahead and step in there. Given the likelihood that we may not be signing Hubbard in the offseason as well, I think that's a smart move. We've got 3 receivers that are playing really well, one of them being a tight end. Jalen Waddle, 634 yards, 5 touchdowns. Calvin Ridley, 527 and 4 touchdowns, so it doesn't look like he had a touchdown over the last quarter of the season. That's okay. Dominic Darby has 514 yards and a touchdown. Russell Gage did step it up, albeit slightly. He's at 324 yards with no touchdowns. Our backup tight end, Ryan Izzo, has 6 catches for 107 and 2 touchdowns. Didn't expect to see that. And Kai Holloway is even outperforming Chuba Hubbard in the passing game, too. So, yeah, we're going to get him in. We're going to make that switch. Deion Jones with 58 tackles. This was the Defensive Player of the Year last year. 58 tackles, 45 for Caleb Farley, 40 for Neal, 38 for A.J. Terrell. Isaiah Simmons has 37, so that's good. He is getting on the field. Let's go ahead and take a look at the quarterback sacks. 6.5 for Grady Jarrett. That's what did I say, man? I said when I signed him, I said, Grady, we had a talk. I said, Grady, I need you to get to the quarterback, brother. I said, I know you got it in you. You're 6 foot. You're 305. Dudes that are in front of you, man, they can't compete with you. Grady did to the tune of 4 sacks over the last quarter of the season. Now, Joseph Osai and Keelan Dent didn't make it as much to the quarterback, but with that production from Grady, maybe they didn't necessarily need to, right? Corey Baker's still coming in with 2 sacks. Marlon Davidson 1.5. Foye with 1. Caleb Farley with that other half a sack there. Interceptions, we only had 1, and it was Deion Jones, who is one of the bigger playmakers on our team. We're just not getting the interceptions. This defense is, while good, they're not forcing turnovers. You'd like to see that happen, especially in the playoffs, where at turnovers, the field position game, it's huge, right? Okay, so solid start so far. We are 8 games in. We're 7-1. You can't really ask for much more than that. We are really progressing. This has been a solid rebuild. We are really coming into our own. Starting off going, I believe, 10-6 that first year after, the debacle that was picking it up in week 7. We were like, what, 1-5 or 1-6 or something like that. So we go 10-6 that year. Then we slip down to 6-10, and then we go 10-6 last year, making the playoffs. 7-1. We've put ourselves in a good position here too. Let's go ahead and upgrade these players. So Marlon Davidson gets an upgrade. You like to see that. It's one reason why I want to continue to re-sign Grady Jarrett until we can develop his replacement, because Marlon Davidson has played okay, but he hasn't played that great, right? Raheem Baber, let's go ahead and upgrade him. This is a backup right end. Doesn't really see the field too often. We are pretty set at the defensive line. Joseph Osai already getting his 2nd upgrade of the episode. You'd like to see that. Let's go ahead and get him up speed rush. I believe he gets another ability here, if I'm not mistaken. He does. Let's see what that ability is. Stonewall. Defenders with this ability will prevent additional yardage gain while tackling. Well, that might not be too bad, actually. We'll see. He also has secure tackler, so this dude is a tackling machine. Tackling fuel. All right. So, got an away game. Then we're on our bye. Away game, home, and home. Last one being against the Chiefs. So, I'm going to see you guys after that home game against the Chiefs. Okay, another solid quarter of the season. We went 3-1, putting us to 10-2 on the season. Let's come over. Let's take a look at the schedule. I'm pretty happy so far, man. I gotta be honest. I did not expect to have this kind of success, to go 10-2. We've got a solid team, but you just never know how these simulations go, right? We didn't start off too well that quarter. We lost at the Panthers. They were 4-4 coming in, a division opponent. You don't like to take division losses, but we were able to bounce back after our bye week. This was the week that we went ahead and we actually slid Chuba Hubbard down to the 2nd running back slot and put Kai Holloway in as the RB number 1. We won 40-13. Who knows if that had anything to do with it? But then we followed that up with a 30-24 win against the Saints and a 31-14 win against the Chiefs. Now, I want to touch on the Saints game real quick. So, actually had an opportunity for Keelan Dent to upgrade his development trait from star to superstar, and I had an opportunity for A.J. Terrell to go from normal to star. I made a decision this episode to not actually go through when we have those development trait upgrades, to not actually play them to try to get them. I want this to be more of an authentic rebuild to where the players are in control and I'm just putting them out there and letting them make the plays, right? So let me know what you think about that in the comment section. If you'd like to see that, if you'd like for me to jump in when we have development trait upgrades, let me know in the comment section down below what your feelings are on that. But we're sitting at 10-2. You'd like to see that. We've got a home game against the Buccaneers, our last away game of the season, thankfully, against the Saints, and then we close it out home against the LA Chargers and home against the LA Rams. So we did end up having, I believe, 5 out of our final 6 games were home games. You like to see that. If we can keep that momentum going, it looks like we're going to make the playoffs. You like to see that. We want to keep that momentum as we go into the playoffs for a potential wild card or a potential division matchup. 6th in offense, 3rd in defense. Lovely, man. I love to see those numbers. 1st in points scored at 348. 5th in points allowed at 241. You got a top 7 offense, a top 5 offense, and a top 5 defense, top 7 or so. it goes without saying, man, I'm loving the way this season is going right now. Justin Fields, 3,100 yards, 22 tutties, 7 interceptions. Dude's taking that step, man. You really like to see it. Chuba Hubbard, 192 carries for 704. Kai Holloway has 10 touchdowns right now. He's got 139 for 444, so he has taken over the reins as the starting running back. We're going to leave him in there just to kind of see what happens as this year finishes out. Jalen Waddle on pace for his first 1,000-yard season. He's got 51 catches for 849 yards, 6 touchdowns. Ridley with 725 and 7 touchdowns. Dominic Darby has 2 touchdowns with 690 yards. Russell Gage rounding it out with 488 yards. Not a good season for him at all. Probably not going to bring him back, but we'll see what he's asking for. It's going to be a wait and see. It's going to be a wait and see. Deion Jones, 88 tackles. Keanu Neal was 64. A.J. Terrell was 62. Caleb Farley. So it's pretty consistent with the tackles here coming from the safety and the corner positions. Isaiah Simmons has 58 tackles, so that's good to see. He's getting a lot of playing time. Michael Walker with only 36 tackles. Foye Oluokun with only 55 tackles. So I wonder if Isaiah Simmons' playing time getting on the field is possibly cutting into Foye and possibly Michael Walker's playing time. That's something that we'll have to maybe take a look at. Quarterback sacks, Joseph Osai up to 8. Grady Jarrett up to 7.5. Keelan Dent with 7. You like to see that. Corey Baker, David Woodard, Marlon Davidson, Deion Jones, Foye, Michael Walker, rounding them all out down there. Interceptions. Deion Jones had another pick. You like to see that. A.J. Terrell with 2. Paris Ford with 2. Keelan Dent with 1. Coming from the defensive end position. I think that's the second year in a row we've had a defensive end have an interception. Wild stuff that you don't always see. Kendall Sheffield has an interception, so you'd like to see that. Where are we looking at forced fumbles-wise? We forced any fumbles this year? You'd like to think we did. Joseph Osai's forced 2. Paris Ford's forced 1. Caleb Farley, Landon Little. Landon Little is that middle linebacker, and he's only got 9 tackles, so he's not seeing the field too often right now. Once again, we're just set at the linebacker position. But I know we're going to get him on the field, if not this episode, within the next 1 or 2 episodes for sure. Dude's going to be just too talented, I have a feeling. Fumble recovery, so not only are we forcing some, we are recovering those fumbles. So it's good to force them, but that really doesn't do you any good if you don't recover it, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and back out. So as we mentioned, home game against the Bucs, away game against the Saints. That's going to be a big game there. And then we're home and home against the Chargers and Rams, respectively. And then hopefully we're going to be making the playoffs. I'll catch you guys after the Rams game. Okay, final quarter of the season. We went 2-2. Ironically enough, our back end of the schedule was loaded with home games, and we had our worst quarter of the season with the last 4 games. It just happens. Hopefully that's not going to be a trend that carries over in the playoffs. We had a pivotal, a crucial game against the LA Rams in Week 17, and we wet the bed. We lost 28-7. 28-7. The reason that was so pivotal and was so crucial is that game decided whether we got a first-round bye or the Rams got a first-round bye. The Rams won. They ultimately get the first-round bye. We're going to have to play the Lions in the wild card. It's a home game. The Lions are 9-7. I'm pretty confident we should come away with the win, but stranger things happen. We lost 52-6 against the Carolina Panthers in the playoffs last year to eliminate us. So didn't start out this quarter good, though. We lost both games to the Buccaneers. We lost 21-19 at home. You don't like to see that. We did bounce back. We ended up winning both games against the Saints, which that was really pivotal. They went 10-6. We went 12-4. So you can see why both of those games mattered. 30-12 there. Beat the Chargers 21-17. Could not beat the other team from LA in the final game of the season, losing 28-7. To the Rams. So overall, a very, very solid season. I am super happy with it. I'm excited to see what we're going to do in the playoffs. So let's look at the playoff schedule. You got the right side is going to be the NFC, and as you can see, we are the 2nd seed playing the Lions. You got the Bucs versus the Bears, the Saints versus the Cowboys. Coming over to the AFC, Bengals and Jaguars. Chiefs and Ravens, Browns and Raiders, with the New York Jets doing a phenomenal rebuild as well, considering where they're at in real life right now. Haven't even won a game. They're the number 1 seed in the AFC in 2024. Unbelievable stuff there. Okay, wouldn't believe it unless I just saw it with my own eyes. Let's come over here to the stats. Take a look. We slipped in offense, as you can see. We were number 1, I believe, going into that final quarter. We ended up being 10th, so 3rd in the NFL in defensive yards allowed. I believe that's our best. Defense in the last 3 years has been very solid. 6th in points scored, 2nd in points allowed. So our offense has played well. I don't want to say our defense is carrying us, but our defense has definitely stepped up. Great year from Justin Fields. A little too many interceptions down the stretch, and that could be ultimately why we ended up going 2-2. 25 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Almost 4,300 yards for him. Solid season there. Chuba Hubbard, Kai Holloway, ironically enough, and I didn't switch the third down running back, the power running back. Ironically enough, when we put Chuba Hubbard into the second running back, he ended up having 9 touchdowns. I don't understand. Some of the simulation stuff, the way it goes here, it baffles me. Jalen Waddle has first 1,000-yard receiving. He had 1,028, 6 touchdowns. The touchdowns, boy, he started off, I believe he had a touchdown in every game in the first quarter. He only ended up with 6. Ridley ended up with 947 yards, fell short of that 1,000. He definitely slipped off towards the second half of the season. 974 yards for Dominic Darby, so similar to last year, he came on towards the last 4 to 5 games of the year. So did Russell Gage, who ended up with 732 yards and only 1 touchdown. And our backup tight end, Ryan Izzo, had probably the best season of any backup tight end that will ever see my field. 14 catches, 234 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And Chuba Hubbard decides to start receiving when we put him at the second running back. I just don't understand. Don't understand it. Deion Jones, another great year, 113 tackles, 1 sack, 3 interceptions. A.J. Terrell had 89 tackles with 3 interceptions. You like to see that. Keanu Neal with 87 tackles. Foye ended up with 85, so the dude came on towards the end. Isaiah Simmons with 97, so we got a lot of guys making a lot of plays for us on defense. You like to see that. I feel like we're doing something right there. Joseph Osai, 10 sacks, following up his double-digit sack season last year with another double-digit season. Grady Jarrett close to it, 9.5. Keelan Dent slipped a little bit from the 14.5 down to 9 this year, but I'm confident with the way our defense is playing, he's going to get back to those high sack numbers for sure. The important thing is consistent pressure on the quarterback. I like to see this right here. Marlon Davidson, our second D tackle, RDT number 2, or just DT number 2, with 4.5 sacks. You like to see that. David Woodard, Corey Baker, 2 sacks apiece, and a few guys with 1. Interceptions. Deion Jones and A.J. Terrell both with 3. Michael Walker with 2. Paris Ford with 2. And then a few guys with 1. Joseph Osai had an interception. This could be, it's not going to be. This could be Defensive Player of the Year, but it's definitely not going to be. I don't even know why I said it could be, because it's not going to be. But it'd be cool if it was, but it's not. Forced fumbles, unless he forced like 6 fumbles. 2 fumbles. He recovered 1. Dude's making plays all over the field. He's going to be up there in Defensive Player of the Year, but it's not going to be number 1. We're not going to have anybody win any awards. I would bet that. I mean, maybe we've got like top tight end. Is that even a thing on this? I don't even think that's a thing. Maybe we've got like top. I don't know. I don't think we're going to have any awards. But let's take a look at it and see. Yearly awards. Coach of the Year was Jim Sears. I think he won it last year too, but that's not Coach of the Year. MVP was Jim Sears. He might have won it last year actually. That's wild. We have nobody in there. Coach of the Year, is that Sean McVay? Yep, with Raheem Morris following right behind him. Let's come down to the NFC. Offensive Player of the Year, Russell Wilson. Defensive Player of the Year was Devin White. And Joseph Osai is in there at top 8. Deion Jones right behind him. Offensive Rookie, Andrew Lucas. Defensive Rookie, we had nobody in there. We didn't really have any rookies that were playing meaningful snaps. We have that Landon Little, who I'm looking forward to getting on the field next year. Best kicker, Sam Sloman. There he is, brother, on the Vikings. Hey, we might have made the wrong signing there, signing Tucker Stanley. I don't remember what his name was. Okay, so let's come back. No way we lose this game. No way. We got to make a run here. I'm telling you, we got to make a run in these playoffs. This is the team. I feel like we can do it. Defensively, we're solid. Offensively, we're very good. This is the team. We're going to do it. We're advancing. We're going to the division. I'm not even questioning it. 27-21 is a close game. Brothers, it was a close game. We're going to take a look at the playoff bracket, though, and we're going to see we get 1 upgrade from Dominic Darby. I do like this new playoff bracket edition. That was something that should have been in there a long time ago. He's gone all the way up to an 85 overall this season. He started off this year in the preseason at 79 overall, so he's all the way up. You like to see that. Let's take a look at the playoff bracket, find out who won, who lost, who's moving on. Cowboys are playing the Rams. Bears are playing the Falcons. Browns and the Jets. Ravens and the Jaguars. So not a lot of surprises, it doesn't look like, with the exception of maybe the Browns beating the Raiders, but that's a 5-4, so nothing too major there. All right, And the Bears, they beat the Buccaneers, who beat us twice this year. And the Buccaneers are a division opponent. You'd like to think that we could at least snag one from them. So, who knows? They're 9-7. We're 12-4. Let's just go ahead and sim it, man. Let's get to the conference championship. Another heartbreaking loss. That's not even heartbreaking. Another crushing loss. It was 52-6 last year's, 33-16 this year against a 9-7 Bears team. Oh, I thought this was a year, especially when the way we started out. Oh, brother. Well, Foyer's up to an 86. You like to see that. I think he started off this season at an 82, so that's good to see. Wayne Woods, it's got to be one of our 97 wide receivers on the practice squad. Big Cat Bryant did not get an upgrade this year. Not good. He's not on the roster. Actually, he might be on the roster. Yeah, Big Cat Bryant's nowhere to be found. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe someone signed him off the practice squad, but yeah, Big Cat's gone. We extended Raheem Morris. That's good. I had nothing to do with that. We're up to an 89 overall, 88 offense, 91 defense. Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. Okay, well, we're going to fast forward to the offseason. We will meet you at the beginning of the free agency signings. Okay, we are here. We've got to re-sign some players. Now, I want to take a look at Chuba Hubbard here. He wants a 3-year, $17 million deal. I'm going to pass for right now. I definitely want to got to lock up Jalen Waddle. 4-year, $51 million deal. We got to do it. Dude's going to be our number one wide receiver for sure, because Ridley just hasn't really taken that step. Osai is up to superstar X Factor. You love to see that. We'll take a look at the team here once we close out. We've got to re-sign him. Definitely have to do that. Up to superstar X Factor. Definitely deserved. Dude's had double-digit sacks in the last couple of years. You like to see that. Russell Gage. That was on the screen there, right? I shouldn't have anything to worry about. It always makes me a little nervous when I see that white screen for no reason at all, because then I'm scared my recording software, my capture software is going to corrupt the footage. I'm scared. I'm not scared, but I'm scared. I think I said that exact same thing last time. Do we want to make Russell Gage? Do we want to extend him, continue with our third wide receiver? He's 29. I don't think so. I think I might actually have to look to draft someone. I think I do want to bring A.J. Terrell back. That's a pretty fair offer for a third corner who's still only 26. And unless he develops... Oh, okay. Is that what you think? Is that what you think, A.J.? You think free agency is going to be better for you? All right. Cool, man. Go try it out. I want to see how it works for you. Paris Ford... yeah, we need to bring him back. I'm happy to sign. That's good. I'm happy to sign you. I want people who want to be here, unlike A.J. Terrell, who wants to test free agency. Trey Smith, definitely need to bring him back for the simple fact that we just no offensive lineman, right? I mean, it's a good offer. I'm glad we have that. I mean, 83 overall, he's only an 80, playing up with morale. Same thing with Jackson Carman. We need to re-sign him as well. After we re-sign all these free agents, we're not going to have a whole lot of cap room to work with. Kendall Sheffield, who's 29, he only wants a 1-year deal. That's fair because A.J. Terrell is gone now, so he's going to play for a new team. All right, brother. Good luck playing for a new team. John Kaminsky, Greg Little, who's 27, our backup tackle. Nah, not going to do it. Not going to do it, brother. What is going on with this flashing on the screen, man? It's scaring me. It really is. I'm going to extend him. It's a pretty fair deal. And he's going to play for someone else, too. Goodness gracious. What are they thinking? This is a Super Bowl team, fellas. You're hopping off the bandwagon too soon. Yeah, we're not going to extend him. Jordan Miller. I mean, he's not going to be our third corner. We got to draft a corner now or sign one. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Let's take a look at the retirements. We're not going to go through the NFL retirements. We're just going to go through to the NFC South. Thomas Morstead finally retired. I think the dude got onto the Saints when I started getting into football. It's crazy. Cameron Jordan retired, and DJ Fluker, who is now on the Panthers, retired. Okay. And as you can see, if there's anything we can take solace in, it's the fact that the Bears were in the Super Bowl. They did lose to the Browns, but at least the team that beat us made it to the Super Bowl. All right, we're going to advance. We're going to advance to week 1 of free agency. We're going to see if anybody's here that we can sign. We got 18 mil in cap room. We got a solid team. That cap room is going to be hard to keep these players around, right? Aaron Donald, Fletcher Cox. Anybody young? Anybody worth anything? DJ Chark. J.J. Watt. This guy. I didn't want him. Journey Brown. Well, this might not be a bad option. I think I'm going to extend this Eric Stokes an offer. And actually, what I'm going to do to hopefully ensure that I get him is I'm going to go ahead and spend some of this coach XP on DB free agency influence. And if I do go with a running back, how about running back free agency influence? Yeah, just so I can hopefully ensure that Isaiah Simmons is not the only free agent that I bring in the entire rebuild, right? So let's come back down to this corner. We're going to go ahead and extend him an offer. Hopefully that he can't refuse. All right, we'll go ahead and advance. It's probably going to be the only player I extend an offer to. And really? All right, cool, brother. I appreciate you declining my offer. I'm not used to it. That's something that I've gotten used to this entire rebuild. Unbelievable stuff. All right, well, is there any other corners? I'm gonna extend just in case. I'm gonna extend Asante Samuel an offer here. Hopefully that puts us at first. It does not. Will this make us first? It's an $11 million offer, 108 total points. It does. Now, I might need to extend an offer to this running back here. I think I'm going to do that. Just in case, and nobody's even offering him anything, just in case we're not able to draft the running back. I feel like we can. Looks like some solid options that we could take in the mid to later rounds. Okay, let's go ahead and advance. Hopefully these two are going to sign with us. We accepted on both. That's great. Good stuff there. All right, cool. 5th-year options. Let's go ahead and address these. Keelan Dent. Yeah. We're definitely going to pick that one up. No doubt about that. I do want to pick up his 5th-year option. I think that should be the only one. Nope, we've got one more. Possibly one more. Maybe we got 5 more. Dominic Darby. Okay, cool. Yeah. We want to pick up him as well. Yeah, good stuff there. So we're going to have their signings coming up in the next year. Definitely have to keep in mind that. But I think that's all we're going to sign as far as free agents go. I'll catch you guys at the draft. Okay, so we are here at the draft. Now, we are going to be looking to upgrade at the wide receiver, corner, defensive tackle, offensive line, obviously, and running back position in this draft. That's what we're going to be targeting. Let's go ahead. See if there's anybody that's still available. We didn't pick until 27. That's what happens, you know, whenever you make the playoffs, right? But let's go to our draft board here. Let's take a look and see what's available still. So we've got some guys that were second-round talents that graded out at the first round. Bobby Beckham here at defensive tackle. Pretty solid. He's a run stopper. Gonna have someone need to take over for Grady Jarrett. He's only 22. Top skills, B+ tackle, B+ pursuit, B+ block shed. So you like to see that block shed being in those top skills there. Let's take a look here. Caleb Bradley, the center, and maybe later on. I believe we're going to take this defensive tackle here. Looks like the best overall player. Hopefully the game is going to tell us that we made the right move. We did. He's the first overall player in this draft. We drafted him at 27. Unfortunately, he only has normal development, but he's starting off at a 78 overall. So you like to see that. So our good string of good draft picks is continuing. We got the #1 overall player in the draft. I mean, you can't be too disappointed with that. At pick number 27. Don't know why he fell so far. Maybe he's got some character issues. Maybe he's got some off-field trouble going on. Who knows? But we got him on our team. So these are all guys that we could get later on. So what I think I'm going to do here, I think I'm going to trade out of this pick. I'm going to trade away my pick. It's review offer. Hopefully it's going to be fair offers. I think I'm going to go with this 2025 round 3 and 2026 round 3. We've been able to draft really solidly in the mid to later rounds, so I don't have a problem with picking up a 3 this year and a 3 next year. And the players that we want, they should still be here. If I was a betting man, I'm not. They should still be here, and they all are. No, I think I'm going to take this Brian Smith here. I think he's got some solid skills when you look at it. We need a slot guy. It's not like we need him to come in and be our, main wide receiver target at 5'10", 183. He's only 22. Got a good 40, good 3-cone. Let's just take a look at this guy. Better 40, better 3-cone. Oh, this could be the decision that we struggle with. I think Brian Smith is the better player, though. If I had to pick, so we're gonna go ahead and draft him here. And hidden development, you love to see it. 28th in true value. We drafted him at 91. He's a 71 overall with hidden development. Yes, good decision there. You love to see that. And we've got one more pick at pick 29. I want to take Dante Wooden here, though. I think he's going to be a good pairing. Because Marlon Davidson, I don't know if he's going to be able to hold his own. I think this guy's going to be a good pairing with the defensive tackle we took in the first round. It's a good pick. He's only 69 overall. He's ranked 56th in true value. We drafted him at 93. So we're making solid selections still. That is a common theme for us drafting here. We're going to advance to the next user pick. Pretty much the same player there. But Josh Irving looks to be a little bit better. Had a better combine. He is also just slightly faster. This guy is overall a solid player. We're going to take him. Normal development, 20th in true value. We drafted him at 120. He's a 73 overall. Hopefully, you'd love to have seen him be at hidden development, but we're making solid picks. We've only reached, I think, once or twice in this entire rebuild, and I'm not embellishing that. Go back and take a look at the drafts. We've had very, very solid drafts so far, and this is another solid draft. So let's go ahead and pick here at round 4. I don't really want to, though, actually. I'm just going to take this running back, too, just to see, right? Hidden development. You love to see it. So we made the wrong pick on the first one, but just like the Arizona Cardinals, we said, no, we're going to ship Josh Rosen out. And we might not ship that running back out. Still a good pick. But we got a hidden development player here, the 25th in true value. We draft him at 123. The other guy looked like a better back. I don't really know, but you like to see it. We took 2 running backs back to back. We'd probably be getting killed if this was real life, but this is not real life, so you like to see it. All right. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and take him. Normal development, good pick, 95th in true value. Draft him at 155. He's only a 67 overall, but another good pick. Nobody that we reached for. You like to see that. So we're going to trade this one away. And why would I hit trade away and then decline all offers? 2025, no. 2026, round 6. 2026, round 6. 2026, round 6. Yeah, so 173, 169. So we'll take this Eagles pick here. They suck in real life. Probably suck in this too. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. They're not very good. All right, cool. So we're going to go ahead and advance to the end of the draft, and I will catch you guys. We're going to go over the team that's going to be heading into episode number 6 of this rebuild. Okay, so another solid offseason, I feel like, in building towards our next episode. Let's go ahead and take a look at the offense, at the defense, what we've got. Offensive line is going to be staying the same. They do have a little higher overalls going into next year, so you like to see that. Trey Smith at an 80, Edward Scott 77, Hennessy 76, Chris Lindstrom up to an 80, Jackson Carman at an 81. Tight ends, Dominic Darby at an 82. He's playing really well. He always comes on in the second half of the season. He's up to an 82, still a young guy. I like where we're at with the tight end position. Justin Fields up to an 87. He was all the way up to, I believe, an 89 with morale. So next year, you'd like to see him. He could possibly even get into the 93s or so. Good stuff there. I like our young cornerback. Journey Brown, we're going to be rocking with him at the running back position. This was the free agent that we picked up. But we've got the draft pick in James Jordan Alexander. who has that hidden development. He's more of a power running back, but he's going to be our running back number 2. We did shift Kai Holloway over to our starting fullback position. I've seen a lot from him, and I really want to get Journey Brown, and I want to see Jordan Alexander, how they can move this offense and see whether or not they can take our running game to the next level, which has been lackluster to say the least. Other than the touchdowns, we've been definitely getting touchdowns, and obviously that's the most important thing, but we want to be able to move the ball on the ground. Also, wide receivers, Jalen Waddle, Calvin Ridley, and the pickup that we had in the draft, Brian Smith with hidden development. He's at a 71 overall. He's going to be playing the slot for us. I can't wait to see what his development trait is going to be. Let's shift over to the defensive side of the ball, and Foye Oluokun and Michael Walker got superstar development back. Now, they are getting up in age. I did not realize, but Michael Walker is 28. Foye is actually at 30 years old, but we do have a couple linebackers in Raheem Abbott, Landon Little, and then this Nick Campbell, who hasn't taken that next step, but we've got 3 linebackers that are pretty solid right now, and if they continue to develop, I think is going to give us a good foundation for the future. Deion Jones holding down the middle. He's 30, but he's got superstar X factor. It's going to be a while before he starts to kind of regress down. Let's go down to the defensive line. Joseph Osai still with that superstar X factor. Had 10 sacks last year, 10.5 the year before. He's at an 86 overall. Grady Jarrett, we're continuing to sign him to a 1-year deal as long as he's going to accept it. He's at a 92 overall, but we've got the number 1 overall pick in the draft. Now, we took him at 27, but in Bobby Beckham at defensive tackle, I'm going to look to get him on the field on third downs, on rushing downs. You'll see when we go over to the specialist. He's going to be our rushing defensive tackle number 2. Marlon Davidson's really going to be that, run-stopping defensive tackle right now. I know Bobby Beckham's archetype is a run-stopper, but I just want to get him on the field to see what he can do. Keelan Dent at an 85 overall. I'm hoping that he'll get another development trait breakout upgrade opportunity and possibly go up to that superstar, or if maybe in the offseason next year go up to superstar, but he's at an 85 overall. The corners, we've got 91 overall Caleb Farley anchoring the corner position. Darren Taylor's up to an 80, and then we've got Asante Samuel at 78. So this is probably the weakest position of the entire team. Maybe the offensive line, but this cornerback position would probably come in a close second, I would say. If it wasn't for Caleb Farley, they would be a very, very pressing need, right? But Darren Taylor, hopefully he's going to take that next step. He's going to play on the outside, and then Asante Samuel will play the slot. Actually, Isaiah Simmons is going to get on the field in the slot cornerback position. I just want him to keep getting out there. I feel like our defense took that next step last year because we had this playmaker on the field. I really feel like he made a huge difference in our defense. We're not going to change anything about Isaiah Simmons. Paris Ford's at an 82 overall at the free safety position. And then Keanu Neal is at an 88 overall. He still has superstar development, which you like to see, but he is 30, so right there with Deion Jones. We're going to need to upgrade and possibly replace him. Maybe that's Isaiah Simmons stepping into that role in the next year or two, but we'll see. Special teams, Sterling Hoffrichter. It's come full circle. Young Wei Koo is back on the team, baby. He is going to be kicking field goals for us going into the 2026 season. And as you can see, our specialist touched on this already. Isaiah Simmons playing the slot corner. Joseph Osai, Grady Jarrett, and Bobby Beckham and Keelan Dent are going to be our rushing ends and tackles, respectively. Deion Jones at the sub-middle linebacker with Isaiah Simmons following him up just to get him out on the field as much as he can. And then Brian Smith. Is it Brian? I think it's Brian. Brian Smith, Brian with a Y, is going to be the slot receiver until until Calvin Ridley or Jalen Waddle isn't happy with the game plan, and then we're just going to switch them around because they get a lot of targets in the slot. So I want to see what this guy's going to develop as. Journey Brown's the third down running back, and then we mentioned that Jordan Alexander is going to be the power running back. I want to get him on the field as much as possible also. So that's going to be the team going into episode number 6, year 2026. Really looking forward to next episode. And if you enjoyed this episode, leave a like rating. If you have a comment, a question, something you're enjoying about the series, something I can improve on the series, or if you just want to say what's up, man, leave me a comment in the comment section down below. I love interacting with each and every one of you down there. And if you'd like to see more content, hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on to stay updated with all of my uploads. I'm ImJslay, signing out today. I'll catch you all on my next video.